Hello everyone, welcome back to EduTap. Myself Jalaj Nagpal, and continuing with our topper series, continuing with our success stories. Today we have Miss Aishwarya with us, and she has recently cleared RBI Grade B 2023 exam. So first of all, from the entire team of EduTap, Aishwarya, big congratulations to you.
Okay, so thank you so much, sir, for the wish. And also, thank you so much for having me here today. It is an honor to be a part, to be here today.
Cool. Now I will ask you multiple questions based on your work ex, based on your preparation. But the first question which I'm going to ask you is that how is the feeling right now? You have cleared one of the most prestigious exams.
Mm.
How is the feeling? How is the vibe? Take me through that.
Okay, so I think it just feels amazing.
Mm,
I feel fortunate. I feel blessed.
mm,
I cannot explain in words. I mean, how I'm
mm,
feeling. But more than anything, I think just looking into my parents' eyes, my relatives, my friends, the responses that they
mm,
are sharing, it just makes me feel more proud and privileged that
mm,
okay, I was able to pull
mm.
that off to make them proud. So I
Yeah.
think that is something which I would
Mm.
consider as the most important thing for me, and it is totally priceless and
Cool.
precious right now.
Now, take me through that day once the final PDF,
Mhm.
the holy PDF was out. Like when you saw that name in
Mhm.
yours, what was the overall reaction after that? Did you cut any cake like many toppers used to cut an RBI cake, something like that?
Mhm. Okay. So first of all, I was like, since I'm working, like, it was an exhausting day. I was continuously
Hmm.
working on my office laptop. Then suddenly I saw that on WhatsApp, there was a
Hmm.
notification from the
Hmm.
group.
Hmm.
We have an interview group over there.
Okay.
So it was mentioned that the results are out.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And at that moment, my heart was actually like soaking. It just sank. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I just opened my
Hmm.
laptop. I opened the result, and what
Hmm.
happened this time was like we can search for our roll numbers
Yeah.
using the Control F
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
option. So I tried doing that. I just like entered two digits of the starting of my
Hmm.
roll
Hmm.
number, and I couldn't find it. I was like, oh my god! In that 1 second, like microsecond, it was, and everything
Uh,
just flashed back. I was like, okay, now I need to think of something else. There has to be a plan B. But then I thought, okay, no problem. It's just a small list of one page. Let's scroll and see. So in that 1 second, I think everything just revolved. Like whatever I did,
hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
what will I do now? I think that
Hmm.
flashback came. And then when I was scrolling down, since my roll number was
Hmm.
somewhere
Hmm.
in the last, so I saw my roll number and I like checked, I think 4 to 5 times,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
this is my roll number or not. I went to my father and said, like,
Hmm.
first of all, like that moment I was actually crying because
Okay.
I was waiting for this moment since last
Hmm.
year. And when that opportunity came and when I could
Hmm.
see that, okay, I made it to the list, I think
Hmm. Hmm.
that moment was something which we never planned.
Yeah.
That happens naturally, that feeling, that emotions and everything that happened naturally. I went to my
Hmm.
mother, I hugged her, I started crying. I told my
Yeah.
father, can you please just check that this is my roll number or not? I just want confirmation. He said, no, it's
Mm.
yours only. So I think that
So,
was the
uh,
day. And after that, yes, I cut a cake. Like one cake
mm-hmm,
was sent by my brother and cut
mm-hmm.
it. It was written RBI officer and rupee sign was there.
Okay, okay,
So I
okay.
think everybody was happy and like this is how we celebrated that moment.
Definitely, these are the moments for which we live for, and definitely it will
Yes.
be etched in the history that you are an RBI Grade B officer now. So kudos to that moment. Definitely, that is a priceless moment to have. Now, Aishwarya, just let's start with the core interview. Let's start by taking different points, and to all my viewers, like I have talked to her previously as well, and I have gained multiple inputs like how to make physical notes, how to use creativity in your examination. So she will give you very important tips. So this particular interview video will be a good raw material for you so that you can achieve success like what she has achieved. Now, first, Aishwarya, give me certain basic introduction about yourself. Like where did you start it from, your graduation days? Then let's come back to the hustle and then the final success. Okay. So
Okay.
just take me through
Sure.
that journey.
Okay, so I come from Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh, first of
Hmm.
all. and I have done my schooling from here itself.
Hmm, hmm,
Then
hmm.
I have done my bachelor's in technology
Okay.
in electronics and communication
Hmm, hmm,
from
hmm.
Madan Mohan Malviya University of Technology, Gorakhpur.
Hmm,
So, like from background, I'm an engineer, and
hmm,
since 2020, the year I graduated,
hmm, hmm.
December onwards, uh, actually November onwards, I started
Cool.
working with one of the leading IT sector firms, and
Hmm,
since last 3 years I have been working
hmm,
like
hmm, hmm.
so this journey, I would say, preparation has been entirely
Hmm, hmm.
along with my work, and that too in the engineering background itself.
Cool.
So
And after that, like graduation happened in November 2020, then you started with your different exams, right?
yes,
So
right,
can you
right.
name some, like how was your
Okay, okay,
examination journey?
okay.
Hmm.
So initially, I thought of appearing for civil services
Hmm,
examination,
hmm,
and in that direction only I moved.
hmm,
So, in since October 2020, I gave UPSC my state PCS
hmm.
examination, and also like examinations conducted by Union Public Services like
Okay.
EPFO. And
Okay.
apart from that, I thought that okay, since I'm working in the private sector, I'm not getting enough time. So why not
Hmm.
take up some banking PO kind of
Okay.
role? And
Hmm, hmm,
then
hmm.
I might get more time, more holidays to study. So with that approach, I even appeared for some of the examinations of
Hmm, hmm,
PO
hmm.
like SBI, IPPS,
Cool.
and apart from that few other examinations. But in all, like in last
Hmm,
2020 and 2021, I would say that there were a lot of hustle going on. I appeared
hmm,
for a
hmm,
lot many examinations.
hmm, hmm, hmm.
If I could count, I think around 15 for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
Cool. 15 are the minimum ones or
Yes,
maximum.
yes. I
Okay.
think maximum I could say, but mostly not clerks. I appeared.
Hmm, hmm,
There were like POs and all those things, or some reputed places where I felt that okay,
cool.
here I can survive if I'm moving out
Hmm,
of
hmm, hmm.
corporate sector.
Cool. So that hustle, like which you just told me about, that first UPSC, PCS, then like EPFO, then banking exams. What was your major learning in that? Because once you hit a failure, definitely it's very tough to bring back yourself on the track. So how did you recovered on each and every failure?
Okay, so first of all, I would say that now when I look back, I think
Hmm, hmm,
everything just makes so much of sense, and each
hmm.
examination I think was worth it,
Cool.
because where I am today, I am because somewhere I learned something from that examination.
Okay.
And apart talking about, like, I'll just take one example, like
Hmm,
QRE. If I wouldn't have appeared for banking prelims or something,
hmm,
then the QRE is something that I would have to, start afresh.
hmm, hmm,
Similarly, if I wouldn't have prepared for UPSC, then
hmm, hmm,
economics, the basics of economics is something that or ESI, economic and social
hmm,
issues,
hmm,
is
hmm.
something that I would had to start afresh. Same for ethics also. So,
Okay.
and SEBI, I appeared for SEBI, EPFO. So from there, accounting, finance, all those things came into picture. So I think
Hmm,
in terms of building a foundation, that came up from these many examination. And
cool.
talking about the setbacks that I got,
Hmm, hmm,
so
hmm,
yes, emotionally it was very stressful. It was exhausting because I had to create the time throughout
hmm,
this
hmm, hmm,
2 3 years of my uh, professional career,
hmm,
along with
hmm,
what I really wanted to do. So creating
hmm,
that time, uh, standing up the next day
hmm, hmm, hmm.
by experiencing the setback, I think that made me stronger. That made
Cool.
me wiser in terms of what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses in terms of
Hmm.
various aspects of this examination.
हाँ
So I
जी.
think yes, all those
Hmm.
learnings definitely helped. And now, like that point of time, it felt that okay, um, uh, I'm failing. Am I not
Hmm,
worth
hmm,
it? All those
hmm,
negative feelings definitely come up to you. But there also, I realized that okay, what I want in
hmm,
life, what I don't want, what I am good at.
hmm.
So I think all in all, I'll say that it was totally learning experience,
Cool.
which I now consider very important.
So taking up the summary from what you said, it's always about learning. It's not about failures rather. So it was
Yes.
15
Mhm.
learnings rather than talking about 15 failures.
Correct.
Cool.
Correct.
Now you also said something regarding like how stressful it becomes once you are hustling up. So what
Mhm.
was your way, like how you have to remove stress? Like what was, were
Hmm.
there any certain hobbies, or were there any kind of stress buster movies? What was that
Hmm.
stress buster thing for you?
Okay. So, at least for like 2020 and 2021, I would say, where
Hmm.
I gave a lot of examination.
Hmm.
2022, I was selective. I thought, okay, no, this is not the
Hmm.
right approach that I'm taking, and this would not take me anywhere I want to. So,
Hmm.
during that phase, I think I like to paint a lot.
Okay.
So, and that makes me calm. Whenever you
Hmm. Hmm.
create something, and in the end, when the result is beautiful, I think it stems a sense of confidence in you. It's
Yeah.
all a sort of meditative exercise that,
Hmm.
okay,
Hmm.
it keeps you calm because you are consolidating all your energy and putting your energy and focus at one place. So I
Hmm.
think
Hmm.
that has been a good exercise for me. Apart
Hmm.
from that, yes, Netflix, Hotstar. Like whenever I used to get time, I used to just
Hmm.
spend some time on good movies or web
Hmm.
series. So that was also one thing,
Hmm.
part of my journey.
Cool, cool. And that is really very required, because once you cover different subjects of RBI, monotony will come in. So
Yes,
sometimes you
definitely.
need certain type of hobbies, like
Hmm.
painting, as it worked for you. Something like yoga can also work for other people as well.
Yes, right,
Cool.
right.
Now let me come back to your engineering background and to your
Hmm.
college. Like there is a
Hmm.
very cliche in the student community that if they are coming from non-IITs, non-IIMs, they will not be able to clear a prestigious exam like RBI Grade B.
Hmm.
Seeing that you have done your engineering from Madan, some like college from that particular state, how did you break this cliche? Like, were you having this particular self-doubt in your mind?
Okay.
Hmm.
Not for a single moment I had this
Okay.
self-doubt. Even when I was appearing for the examination, even when I went for the interview, I never
Hmm.
felt that I am low, any less as
Hmm.
compared to the people who are coming from any
Hmm.
prestigious college or any such background in the banking or
Hmm. Hmm.
finance or any degree
Hmm.
which they have. Because I felt that, see, if you look at RBI's notification, you will see
Hmm.
that they are open to engineers as well.
Cool.
It's not just that it is restricted to people who know accountings or who know finance, who know
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
economics. It's not restricted to that. And okay, definitely some people say that it might create an impact, or like the college where you come from or the background
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
come from, but I never feel so, and I think we
Hmm.
shouldn't feel so, because that will pull down your morale. If you compare yourself, I never
Hmm. Hmm.
compared myself with anybody. I felt
Hmm.
that I am suitable for that position, I am suitable for that role, and
Hmm.
if I work hard, I'll be able to reach there. I think that feeling is something which has been constant,
Hmm.
and that helped me a lot. That sense
Cool.
of self confidence and self belief, I would say.
So that particular confidence, where did you ingrain that confidence from? Like, how did that confidence
Okay,
came into
yeah.
you? Hmm.
Okay.
So,
So one thing is, like since my school days, I have
hmm.
been a person who loves to be a part of extracurricular activities,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
co-curricular activities. In my college also, I was a part of different clubs and societies. So
Hmm.
there I understood that I am different from a lot of people when it comes to taking up
Hmm. Hmm.
responsibilities sincerely. And
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
also, like, I understood myself in and out as to what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, how will I react and respond in different situations.
Hmm.
So I think
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
sense of clarity, that sense of confidence came from these very incidents or these very experiences. So I
Hmm. Hmm.
think
Hmm.
I would say that confidence and that self belief is something, that clarity which I got,
Hmm.
that helped
Hmm.
me a
Hmm.
lot
So
throughout
even
this
this
journey.
confidence helps you in RBI Grade B journey as well, like the
Yes,
creativity
definitely.
thing.
Hmm. Yes.
How did creativity help you in RBI?
Okay.
Like how did
Okay.
you used it?
So, okay. So if I talk about creativity, I think
Hmm.
drafting answers in the best possible way, in an
Hmm.
engaging way, I would say, is
Hmm.
very important. And if you have a creative mind, you have an imaginative mind, you can think in different directions of this, like about the same problem. And
Hmm.
that
Hmm. Hmm.
creativity, that dimensions that
Hmm.
you add in the creative way you present your answers, that
Cool.
impacts a lot, because everybody knows
Yeah.
that descriptive holds a great importance in the
Yeah.
mains, and
Hmm.
we
Hmm.
cannot skip that part. We have to be the
Hmm. Hmm.
best if we have to stand apart or like out of the crowd. So I think there I got some help. And interview
Hmm.
also, like, though I was coming from altogether a different background, I
Yeah.
never had any such experience in the banking and economics domain.
Hmm.
I was even grilled on that. But I
Hmm.
think
Hmm.
that sense of confidence and self-belief, it
Hmm.
like helped me to stand still, to
Hmm.
stay confident and calm. So I would say yes,
Cool.
creativity helped me. Yeah.
Cool. So certain personality development traits will definitely help you in RBI Grade B
Hmm.
preparation as well.
Yes, yes,
Now coming
definitely.
to engineering background again, like for example, if any, uh, I would say young fresher is watching this particular video, like he or
Hmm.
she is listening to you, give me one advice which you will like to give to that particular person. She is or he is starting their journey for RBI. How will they start this preparation? What is that particular one unique advice which you would like to give to them?
Okay. So
Hmm.
one thing is, I think I'll to give two piece of advice.
Yeah.
One is, first of all, you should know that what are your strengths and weaknesses in
Hmm.
terms of each level of this examination, because each level requires a different set of
Hmm.
approach. Whether it be prelims, it's just qualifying. You need
Hmm.
to score enough to qualify. Mains, I would say it's more about descriptive, how you approach, what
Hmm. Hmm.
understanding or articulation skills you have.
Hmm. Hmm.
uh, then interview is all about communication,
Hmm.
confidence. So I think you need to identify that, okay, what where I
Hmm.
stand. And second of all, I think proper analysis is important. That
Hmm.
okay, if I am starting afresh, I do not know what this examination is. I
Hmm.
started by giving mock tests for prelims, and
Okay.
I identified that okay, these are the places where I can score. Like if I do these many bare minimum questions, I'll be able to qualify. And
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
is that is very important to do an analysis.
Hmm.
Means
Hmm.
also you need to analyze that okay, where the current affairs are more important, where the static part is hold
Hmm.
importance. I think all those things are very important. So I think I'll
Yeah.
say analysis and knowing yourself, your strengths and weaknesses.
Hmm.
These two things is something where you can start,
Hmm.
and these will always help you.
And after that, knowledge of finance will definitely come into the picture, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
engineers should, in like it is always said that engineers can do anything which is falling under the sun. So that stands true in RBI as well, right?
Yes, that stood
Hmm.
true because we have so much of exposure and
Yeah.
micromanaging things that
Hmm.
helps you. Actually, it did for me, like
Hmm.
finding innovative and creative way to complete the syllabus, even
Hmm.
if
Hmm.
you have a short time span.
Hmm.
There's like paucity of time, you can do all of
Hmm.
those things. So I think yeah, that helps.
Hmm. Cool. So kudos to all the engineers because definitely engineers are ruling this world as well. Now, when it comes to your working professional life, like you had
Mhm.
job in private sector, so one very
Mhm.
pain point of student is of managing time.
Mhm.
Like they work from 9 to 6. Some people also work from 10 to 7, something like that shift. Like
Mhm.
how did you manage your time and certain valuable inputs that how our viewers can manage their time as well.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
See, first of all, if I talk about myself, for
Hmm.
these 3 years, mostly I was working from home.
Cool.
I went to the office whenever
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
was needed or there was some important events or something.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, since I was working from home, I saved my traveling time, doing the
Hmm. Hmm.
daily chores and everything,
Hmm.
managing my own stuffs. So that time I was able to save, and that I like
Hmm.
simply invested in my towards my studies and preparation. And second of all, yes, since I was working from home and I'm part of the service sector where
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
have to connect to the clients that are
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
meetings that are unplanned.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. Hmm.
that it is very important that you plan your entire day. You create your
Hmm.
targets. You should know that okay, if my deadline is of like if I have to complete a task in 1 week, and if I do it with focus and with diligently, if I do the
Hmm.
task, I can do it in 4 5 days.
Hmm.
So like maybe 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day.
Hmm.
There are days when you had to work to 7 to 8 hours
Yeah.
a day. So
Hmm. Hmm.
that knowing that thing is very important because that helps you in creating your plans and strategies. For
Hmm.
me,
Hmm.
strategy worked.
Okay.
Like I if I don't know if people will believe or not, but like when I started my preparation, I created my monthly plans, I created my weekly plans and daily plans. that okay, daily these are the things I need to do. It took
Hmm.
time, definitely it took time, but
Yeah.
in the end you have the clarity that okay,
Hmm.
these are the set of activities that I have to do. I
Hmm.
have to keep some buffer time as well, and that it gives you a sense of direction also. You don't
Hmm.
feel lost at any point of time. So it's like if I complete one subject, I know that okay, what is the
Hmm.
second thing I need to do. मुझे ये सोचना नहीं पड़ता है कि okay, अभी क्या करूं, इसके बाद क्या करूं. You
Yeah.
save that time initially if you plan that. So
Yeah.
planning and execution, like these two
Hmm.
things are very important for people like us who are working.
Hmm.
And second, thirdly, I would say that if you are totally drawn towards your goal, if you are dedicated, I think nobody can stop you.
Hmm. Hmm.
I would say that success, like my key to my success was I always focused on my goal rather than the obstacles, because there were a lot of obstacles that used to
Hmm.
come every now and then, unplanned things from the office,
Hmm.
personal life also at home. So every time I thought, okay, let's not focus on the obstacles, what else I could do. So I think that thought should like keep coming into your mind that okay, if not this, what next I can do. So I think that also is very important. And in the end, I would say that just 3Ds helped me: discipline, determination, and dedication. These have been part of my journey, and I think like that is why somewhere I'm here
Hmm.
today.
Cool. Definitely, these 3Ds can become the success mantra for anyone. Cool. Now let's come back to that planning stage. As you told me, like
Mhm.
you made plans. Were these like digital plans or like you made any physical notes or what kind of stuff?
Hmm. So first of all, like talking about notes, mostly they
Hmm.
were physical. I like to write. I believe in the conventional or
Hmm.
traditional way of
Hmm.
studying. And
Hmm.
again, coming to the planning part,
Hmm.
everything was on pen and paper. I used
Okay.
to like take a sheet, write like month, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like the entire dates.
Uh-huh.
Mark the dates where I used to have like holidays or weekends, or
Okay.
the days, yes, holidays as well. And then I
Hmm.
used to, since like appeared for this examination last year also, I
Hmm.
knew that this year, what are the syllabus, how much time will I
Hmm.
need on a particular subject, how much time can I dedicate or I should dedicate. So I had those clarity. Based on that, I just created
Hmm.
everything on the sheet, and I used
Cool.
to just in the end just cross it out, and that feeling, I think it
Hmm.
just very satisfactory, and you feel contented that okay, I'm able to pull
Yeah.
that off.
It feels
uh,
like a mini achievement rather.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I think
Uh,
that also motivates you every day
hmm.
that okay, I need today also I need to finish my task and cut that,
Hmm.
strike that thing out,
Yeah.
the date out, the
Cool.
elements
Hmm.
that I have to cover out.
So was
So
that
yes.
common for phase one, phase two, and interview, or was it only for phase two purpose?
Okay, so mostly
Hmm.
my preparation was focused on phase two.
Hmm.
Phase one, since I had less of time, so
Hmm.
in the entire day, I used to dedicate approximately 1 hour
Hmm.
for phase one.
Hmm.
So mostly it was revolving around phase two, and
Hmm.
in like for the last month before, I think somewhere around 25th of June till
Hmm.
9th of July, everything was for phase one itself.
Cool.
But in the back, it's not just that I left phase one completely, but yes, mostly it was revolving around phase two. Like I need to cover the government schemes, I need to
Hmm.
cover the PIB news. And meanwhile, 1 hour in a day, I used to just practice
Hmm.
and try to give that complete mocks on weekends. So that I
Hmm.
started from June onwards.
Okay, so that was regarding phase one. But in phase one, there
Mhm.
is a component journal awareness or current
Mhm.
affairs. So did you make notes for that purpose as well?
Okay. Yes, I made my
Okay.
notes. I'll tell you how. See, it's
Hmm.
not that if you have to make notes, you'll make
Hmm.
notes of everything that comes up in the news. You need
Okay.
to be smart enough to identify, okay,
Hmm.
if I'm starting, like if I'll tell you, this year I started my preparation from February 1 onwards. Before
Okay.
that, after the exams last year were finished and I was done with my mains
Hmm.
examination,
Hmm.
for that entire time frame, I was regularly in touch with current affairs,
Hmm.
PIB, RBI website, and newspaper. So
Cool.
from all these sources, like wherever I used to find something important, I used to just make the notes month wise, and
Hmm.
then I like daily I practiced, or I did the thing daily, because you cannot leave these things for last. since
Okay.
I am a person who is very systematic and organized, I believe in making my own notes because that
Mm-hmm.
helps me in retaining things.
Cool.
I'm not good at mugging up facts. So
Mm-hmm.
that is the first level of retention that you do when you make your own notes. So current affairs, definitely I did make my notes, but I was very selective. Okay, if it's
Okay.
something related to sports, so sports is not everything which I'll write.
Mm-hmm.
That I did just like 2 3 months before the examination.
Mm-hmm.
I did that, and apart from that, what I did was like I used to like go through the consolidated PDFs
Hmm.
each month and highlight the things which I might have left in my notes or which I
Okay.
felt that could be important. So I think
Mm-hmm.
these two things I did simultaneously, making my regular
Hmm.
notes and also going through the consolidated
Cool.
PDFs just to make sure that I don't miss out on anything.
So you rather focus on quality rather than quantity, right?
Yes, right.
Okay. And once you focus on quality, the bulky side of notes was not seen, right? Because you
Yes,
have the
definitely.
good quality of notes, which will
Hmm.
help you in revision as well.
Yes.
Cool. So when it comes to phase one, like the many students fear from quant and reasoning. Any tips on that, like how to clear the
Hmm.
sectionals
Hmm.
itself?
Okay, okay. So if I talk about myself, last year was my first attempt. This
Mm-hmm.
was my second attempt. Last year also, I had around 40 to 45 days before prelims when I started preparation for RBI.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time. So first thing which I did was I simply opened
Mm-hmm.
the past year's test or the questions that were there. So you can get it free of cost anywhere. Like you can search and get those questions.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave that mock test, and
Okay.
then I analyzed that, okay, these are first things you need to understand that you just need to clear the sectional cutoffs. You
Mm-hmm.
don't need to score the highest. That won't be counted anywhere. For a
Mm-hmm.
person like me who had time crunch or time issue, what I did was I identified through the mock test that, okay, what are my strengths? What are the scoring areas? If I don't do
Mm-hmm.
the puzzles, will I be able to sail through the phase one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in the quant, if I don't do the DIs, will I be able to sail through? And if yes, then what are the set of questions that I can target? So I think it was a targeted approach. It was a smart study, I would say, that I did. And quant, I would say, I think I don't like quant at all. English and general awareness is something which I felt that it can always help me
Mm-hmm.
uh, clear this phase. Reasoning I enjoyed, but since I had time crunch,
Mm-hmm.
I identified the areas like syllogisms, reverse syllogisms I could do, inequalities is something I could do, critical reasoning I identified that, okay, these I can manage. So that was the approach, and with that approach only I went to the examination. In
Mm-hmm.
examination also, I never targeted to do all 30 questions or 20 questions. I was like, okay, if I do 10 questions with full accuracy, I'll be able to pass. And that is what happened. Like this year, if I would personally say, last year I was able to do 10 questions in quant. This
Okay.
time I could only do 6 questions. And I was panicking. I just came home. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, what if I miss the cutoff, the sectional cutoff? What I'm going to do if I would have like made some error or mistake? But thankfully, even though I just could like I could do only 6 questions, I did them with full accuracy and I
Mm-hmm.
scored the entire marks. So
Cool.
like the entire six
Huh.
marks, I was able to pull that off. So I think that is important, that
Mm-hmm.
strategy, that knowing that, okay,
Mm-hmm.
even if I don't do all the questions, what
Mm-hmm.
is the best I can do and do it with full accuracy. I think this
Cool.
is what I practiced, and I implemented the same on the D day, and
Mm-hmm.
that helped.
Cool. So, if I'm not wrong, the sectional cutoff was 4.5 this year of quants.
Yes, yes.
So, definitely, if you are scoring six, that is very good because phase one is
Hmm.
qualifying in nature.
Yes,
No one will
qualifying in
ask your
nature.
numbers once you clear RBI
Ah,
grade B, right? So,
right.
that's again a smart strategy which everyone should adopt. Cool. Now, when it comes to general awareness, how many months of general awareness one should study? Like this
Mhm.
year, if I'm not wrong, the general awareness paper was very lengthy. So, how
Right.
many months
Mhm.
of general awareness has to be done? Just a very quick number on that.
Okay. I think everybody says like six to
Hmm.
eight months is something which you should do. If I talk about myself, I did from October 2022
Two.
till like July
Hmm.
first week. I did cover that. But if I was covering for October, November, and December, I was
Hmm.
again very selective. In the
Cool.
sports, I did not read everything, or I
Hmm.
did
Hmm.
not revise everything
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
sequentially. I just cherry picked
Hmm.
the events or tournaments which I felt are important,
Yeah.
and that helped.
So based on that cherry picking, like what is the basis of that cherry picking? How to
Hmm.
say that this news is important and this news is not important? What was the
Okay.
basis of that?
Okay, so again, that idea came out of the analysis. Also,
Hmm.
the marathon sessions that were
Hmm.
conducted, that also gives you an idea
Hmm.
that, okay, if something is coming from the PIB, if something coming from the government scheme, or
Hmm.
some
Hmm.
trade pact is getting signed, or like any such news is something which is important, you
Hmm.
need
Hmm. Hmm.
to have a thorough understanding. But yes, if some author is writing a particular book, I
Hmm.
think you can do it for like last 2 to 3, 4 months. That would be more
Okay.
than enough. Okay, so
Cool.
this was my approach, and this time, uh, GA was definitely very lengthy. My speed initially was really slow. Like
Hmm.
I thought that I won't be able to, view all the questions even. But then what I did is like, yes, speed is something that you also need to be sure. आप
Hmm.
एक
Hmm.
सेट माइंडसेट आई मीन एक प्लान्ड और
Hmm.
एक
Hmm. Hmm.
सेट स्ट्रैटेजी के साथ नहीं जा सकते हो. You
Hmm.
have to quickly switch. In my case, initially I was very slow. I thought, okay, I'll miss out
Hmm.
all
Hmm.
the questions. Then what I did, I was just reading that, okay, which is the scheme, what they want to. Is it included? Is it a feature or not? I was just looking at those two words, and I
Hmm.
was marking the answers. So this
Okay.
is what comes up with practice and with proper analysis, like what things to cover, what not to cover. And yes, you
Cool.
also need to have that flexibility and adaptability. You cannot
Hmm.
be
Hmm.
like, okay, if I am going from here and I'll do around 40, 70 questions, like somehow try to score 60 or
Hmm. Hmm.
65,
Hmm.
it doesn't goes in that way.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hmm.
that flexibility is also needed.
Yes, that would be something like very important to understand, like because examination can offer you anything. So you have to play as per your strength. You have to adopt that situation and
Mhm.
then score as high as possible. Good. Now, once it comes to phase one, were you confident that will you clear phase one or not?
Because of
Of
quant,
quants.
yes, because of quant, I was a bit skeptical
Huh.
that will I be able to make it through or not. But apart from that, I knew that, okay, I've done sufficient set
Hmm.
of questions that will help me to
Cool.
sail through it. Because in the end, you
Hmm.
don't have to score the highest, you just have to clear the
Huh.
cutoffs.
Cool.
So because of
Huh.
quant, I was a bit scared.
Cool. Now let's come to phase two. Phase two is the,
Hmm.
I would say, the merit section. So
Hmm.
first, take me through the English descriptive or the descriptive entire part of FM and ESI. How to improve in
Hmm.
descriptive, first of all, if any young fresher is watching this video. And the
Hmm. Hmm.
second pain point is regarding the typing speed. Okay,
Hmm.
so
Hmm. Hmm.
these 2 points, I would like to listen to your views on these 2 points.
Okay, okay. So
Hmm.
first of all, I think typing I'll talk, then I'll come
Yeah,
to each of
yeah.
these papers. So typing, what I did, I had two keyboards with me. I used to connect it to my laptop, and like for 10 days, if I'm typing on one particular keyboard, naturally your fingers will get set that,
Okay.
okay, you will start remembering the keys, and you will not
Hmm.
look at like down to the
Hmm. Hmm.
keyboard. You'll
Hmm.
look at the screen and
Screen.
type. So I think after every week, I'll just used to switch between my keyboards,
Okay.
just to I don't get acquainted. Because what happens is now you get into a delusion, or you
Hmm.
get a sense of confidence that, okay, now my speed is improving. But
Hmm. Hmm.
actually, it's not because of that. It's because that you get acquainted to the keyboard this much that you
Okay.
feel like, okay, my speed has improved.
So you are saying that like you have the laptop in that there is an inbuilt keyboard. You are not using that.
No,
Instead, you
no.
are adding an extra hardware, which
Hmm.
like it is like very tough to press all those buttons, that kind
Yes,
of stuff.
yes,
Okay. And
yes.
these were two set of keyboards.
Yes, I kept two
Okay.
set of keyboards,
Cool.
and for the practice part, I'll come later how I
Huh.
practice. But for preparation for like this FM and ESI part,
Hmm.
one thing is the static part.
Hmm.
So, static when I started my revision this year from
Hmm.
February onwards, I used to make a set of questions for each of the
Hmm.
topic. We get mock test, but they're limited in number. So
Hmm.
it's if you and that is not something that okay, if I get 10 to 15 mock tests, and if you will just get the feedback, if you just give those mock tests, it is just sufficient.
Hmm.
If you have to get selected, you have to go an extra mile at each and every stage, whatever
Hmm.
possible things could be done. So from February onwards, from my end, what I did was I used to create a set of static questions. Like if I talk
Hmm.
about leadership, if I'm studying leadership, what is leadership? Qualities of a good leader,
Hmm.
comparison between two
Two
leadership
leaders.
theories,
Hmm.
all of those things I kept on doing. Like I used to prepare the set of questions, and in the evening, like I used to save
Hmm.
1 hour of at least like or 40 45 minutes of time
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
typing those things. So this is something I did for finance as well. Like
Okay.
even though in like finance, what are derivatives, types of
Hmm. Hmm.
derivatives, the features, all those things,
Hmm.
differences. So I think again that is very important. And
Cool.
talking about the current part, in economics, definitely what happens is like we are given government schemes or some
Hmm. Hmm.
reports, or some topics like women, MSME, all those things comes up.
Hmm.
So for that, I took the help of editorials. So this time I did that a bit of a different exercise that
Hmm.
might sound, very painful for a lot of things or like people. But
Hmm.
what I
Hmm.
did was I used to save, like I haven't read the newspaper online. So from there, I used to just download some editorials related to economy,
Hmm.
related to
Hmm.
climate, related to women, on all those topics,
Hmm.
save them in a folder, again in a very organized manner,
Hmm.
like economy, like inflation, economy,
Unemployment.
labor force, yes,
Yeah.
unemployment, all those things I did. So if you just look at if I used to look at my folder, so in a sequential manner, all the topics related to economy, all the related topics related to
Hmm.
social issues used to come at one particular place. And I tried to revise them at least like 2 times
Okay.
before the mains examination. I used to just highlight the pointers, because what
Hmm.
happens is you get a direction or dimension, I would say, to present the same idea, to present like what could be
Hmm.
done, what could not be done. So I think that idea, that I would say the raw material comes up from there
Hmm.
also. So I think editorials, they helped me a lot. I
Hmm.
did that practice. It was hectic, definitely maintaining all
Hmm.
those
Hmm.
like PDFs, going through them. But in the end of the day, if you want to get selected, you have to do whatever, or
Yeah.
like whatever you can do. So I
Hmm.
think that is also one thing which I included. Apart
Hmm.
from that, for the statistics, again, statistics, they enhance or improve your answer.
They give a
Like
professional approach to your answer
yes,
rather.
that
Hmm.
you know things in and out.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
any indices, any facts and
Hmm.
figures like related to employment,
Hmm.
inflation,
Hmm. Hmm.
MSME, agriculture. So, what I
Hmm.
did, I maintained a Word document for that. I
Okay.
divided the entire document into sections like economy, women,
Hmm. Hmm.
MSME, agriculture, trade, finance.
Hmm.
And
Hmm. Hmm.
whenever I used to come across some indices or some important facts and figure, I used to just copy paste the same in that
Okay.
document. So it
Okay.
was like around I think 2 or 3 page Word
Hmm. Hmm.
document, where I had all the this facts and
Important
figures
facts.
consolidated. Yes,
Okay.
so that is was easier to include, and like this is how I prepared.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
coming to how I used to practice at home, I think for that there's a website called Word Counter
Yeah.
that helps you in counting the words. So I used to
Hmm.
just open 4 or 5 windows at one time. Like if I'm giving one complete set of
Hmm.
mock for 1 hour, so I used to give like open 4 windows, like
Uh-huh.
shorten their
Rectangular.
size. Yes,
Hmm. Hmm.
the
Hmm.
way in the examination it comes up.
Hmm.
And then I used to start a timer, use or attach a different keyboard to my laptop, and then I used to practice. So I think
Cool.
that helped a lot. That regular practice really
Hmm.
improves your speed, your
Hmm.
way to think and present the ideas.
Cool.
So
Hmm. Hmm.
yes, this is what I did for
Hmm.
answer writing.
So one thing which I can derive from the entire conversation which we have just till now, your uniqueness is that you are very organized.
Hmm.
Basically this becomes your USP as well, that you are very organized. Like every now and then you are talking like you have sections, you have different things, you have notes, everything. So where does
Hmm.
this organization comes into you? Like ये कहाँ से आया इतना organize होना? How did you it, and definitely it has helped you in RBI as well. But was
Yes.
what was the source of this organization and what was this power all about?
Okay, I think it's somewhere it comes from my parents' gene. My mother is
Hmm.
very organized, and
Yeah.
also like it's not just with studies in
Hmm.
life. Also, as a person, also I'm very organized. I like to
Hmm.
plan everything and then execute it. Even
Hmm.
if I'm going out or if I'm for my work, also I just create a list set that okay, these are the
Hmm.
items that I have to do. So I think that organization has been a part of my personality,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
I have used it for my own benefit because that organization helps you give a clarity. You don't have to jump from one resource to the other
Hmm.
resource. I made my own notes like
Hmm.
end to end, so it's not that I used to go from this PDF to that PDF, or this
Hmm.
video to that video. I used to like definitely when you are preparing your note first time, you have to go through the
Hmm.
entire PDF or video lecture, but after that it used to save my time. So I think
Hmm.
that organization, that systematically
Hmm. Hmm.
approaching or studying, that helped me a lot.
Cool.
I think over the years it has just strengthened that
Hmm.
idea. But yeah, I think it has been a part of my
Cool.
journey throughout.
So again, that will be counted in your personality only. Like
Yes,
being
personality.
creative, being calm, that is
Hmm.
again very good. Cool. Now let's talk regarding the last stage, which is interview. How was your
Hmm.
preparation done, and how was the overall feelings once you were giving the interview? Because giving going in the RBI offices itself gives
Hmm.
you a kind of pride feeling. So
Hmm.
take me through
Yes.
your journey of interview and what happened on the D day. Okay.
Okay,
So
yes,
what
sure.
was that? Yes,
So,
please.
first of all, like my interview was somewhere around like 5th of December. It was quite
Hmm.
late. Technically, I had a lot of time to prepare, but
Hmm.
due to certain reasons and due to my
Hmm.
work, I could not dedicate that much of time.
Hmm.
So, in last 15 days, whatever I had, one thing was I did is like I was a part of Telegram group or WhatsApp
Hmm.
group where people used to share their transcripts.
Hmm.
So what I did is again I prepared a Word document. I used to copy paste the entire transcript from there,
Hmm.
from those groups, to a document.
Hmm.
Then what I did was like first thing is I made a list of questions, the technical questions and the HR
Hmm.
questions. That okay, this year they're focusing more on the RBI and its functions related to
Hmm. Hmm.
currency or any unconventional question, as in
Hmm.
what is currency, what is money, why does the central bank has reserve in its name,
Okay.
why RBI keeps so much of gold. So all such questions, I think I prepared a list of them. And topic wise, I
Hmm.
just created my own notes. I think
Hmm.
this is something which has been a part of my journey for all the phases.
Hmm.
I cannot skip this.
Yeah.
So I created a note topic wise, like currency
Hmm.
management as RBI's function, monetary policy, and all the
Hmm.
questions which I could think of or that were previously asked. I wrote these small answers, very crisp, on those topics, and
Hmm.
I prepared.
Hmm.
For the HR part, since
Hmm.
I come, like I have been working in the AI and automation domain, I knew that, okay, this is a place where they can definitely ask questions and
Hmm.
what
Hmm.
RBI is doing. So again, I think that helped me, like those, I think fodder material from my editorials that I saved. I think
Hmm.
from
Hmm.
there, I get a lot of understanding, or I prepared the content that I could speak, like AI norms, which EU is bringing,
Hmm.
USA, what it is doing, then use cases, then how RBI is utilizing AI and ML technology.
Hmm.
So this, and apart from that, whatever I had written in my
Hmm. Hmm.
this biodata form.
Yeah.
So I think I prepared all those aspects. And yes, and I gave the mock interview that gives you clarity, like are you going in the right direction,
Hmm.
how are
Hmm.
you presenting your answers, are you confident enough or
Hmm.
not, and what things you can improve. So that
Hmm.
also helped. And when I actually went to the interview, talking
Hmm.
about that day, so I think first of all, entering into the RBI office itself is a different feeling. I
Yeah.
had my interview in Delhi.
Okay.
It was lavish, I would say. The office was like, I was awestruck when I looked at the entire aura. I think
Hmm.
that entire environment was so beautiful, everything so clean and organized. I was like, oh my God, I have to be here.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think that was the initial feeling that I had.
Hmm. Hmm.
And if I talk about myself, since I had exposures to so many interviews
Yeah.
beforehand in my professional career, in my college
Hmm.
days, I felt that interview is my strength. I think I can
Hmm.
confidently present myself
Hmm.
in like whether it be articulation skill, whether it be communication, verbal and non-verbal both.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that confidence I had, but when you go there, I think it is altogether a different feeling.
Yeah.
Like you are nervous, you're anxious. It
Hmm.
was
Hmm. Hmm.
my do or die thing. I felt like, okay, this is the time I have to pull it off at any cost.
Hmm.
So I think that all feelings, it starts overpowering your confidence. So, and definitely when I looked to the other aspirants, everybody was prepared, everybody was
Hmm.
confident, everybody was experienced, especially
Hmm.
in the banking domain. Like
Hmm. Hmm.
my interview was fifth on the number, and before me, four people went. Two were from the RBI itself, and two
Okay.
other were for bankers. So I was like, oh my God, I have a pressure because I am from a
Hmm.
non like technical background
Yeah.
comparing to
Yeah.
the other people,
Hmm.
IT field, technology.
Hmm.
So with that feeling, I went in. For
Hmm.
the initial 1 second, 2 second, I felt like nervous. I felt anxious, but then
Hmm.
everybody just calmed me out. I think Chairman Sir, he understood that okay, I might be somewhat nervous. So he said that, "Are you fine? Are you okay?" So I think in that way,
Yeah.
they were very cordial.
Hmm.
But then I had this clarity that okay, either they'll start my interview with why do you
Hmm.
want to join RBI,
RBI.
or my own domain, that is artificial intelligence. These were the two
Hmm.
things I thought, and definitely they
Hmm.
started with the second one, like first one. Why do you want
Why
to join
RBI?
RBI? Yes,
Hmm.
why RBI? Why from a technical background, such a
Hmm.
good domain, such good companies you're working with, like
Hmm.
you have worked with and you're working. So why do you want to join RBI? And they started grilling and roasting me on that very thing itself. And at some point, I felt that okay, whatever I had planned or
Hmm.
whatever I had prepared, they're not asking that. There were some unconventional questions that were asked. What
Okay.
is policy making? What is a good policy or a bad
Hmm.
policy? And they asked me to even do like perform a just a minute on a particular banking topic. So I
Okay.
think they were like, I made a statement. I thought that okay, I started regretting the very moment that why did I do that. I
Hmm.
said that engineers are everywhere. So single sir, he like everybody first started laughing, and then in single sir said, so क्या करें, एक काम करते हैं, आरबीआई को टेक्नोलॉजी कंपनी बना देते हैं, फाइनेंस वाले लोगों को हटा देते हैं. So I was like, oh my God, I shouldn't have said this in this particular
Yeah.
way. Then I covered up. So
Hmm.
that I think this entire, I think for me, I felt that okay, interview did not go as I wanted it to go, but
Hmm.
throughout my interview, I was smiling, I was confident. Whatever I
Hmm.
felt, I said them in a very
Hmm.
polite way. I think that helped me a lot,
Hmm.
because definitely they did not tested me on the technical part or whatever I knew about RBI, or
Hmm.
the technical nitty-gritties on economics, finance, and
Hmm.
everything.
Hmm.
But whatever they asked, even if I did not know it or if I made a mistake at that point, I felt I was very polite. I was calm. So that helped me a lot.
Cool.
And when I came
Hmm.
out, I felt like, okay, it might be things did not go in my direction. I might not clear this year. I
Hmm.
think all those negative feelings started coming up. But in the
Hmm.
end, I made it and I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, that's the core, I would say, the summary of that, that you made it and you are happy now, because that is all what we have. Now, once it comes to like you talk regarding your mob, talk regarding your different family members, how important is family support, or how important is the support of your dear ones to crack something like RBI Grade B?
Okay.
Mm.
So first of all, like since last 2 years, I was working from home.
Mhm.
I did not tell my friends that I'm preparing. So
Mhm.
nobody knew except three members in my family,
Mhm.
my father, mother, and brother. So
Mhm.
definitely there were days, rough days, whenever I used to feel so overburdened or exhausted. And
Mhm.
obviously there were setbacks also in my life or in journey of this preparation. So there my parents have always stood as a strong pillar who have always motivated me. I think there were
Mhm.
days when I felt that I might not be able to do it, or I'm not even worth
Hmm.
it, or it's is it
Yeah, yeah.
meaningful, or is it right to give so much of time
Hmm.
and energy in this particular direction? So I think their support was very important because
Hmm.
they
Hmm. Hmm.
motivated me. They said that we know you can do it. You have come this far. You will definitely
Hmm.
go
Hmm.
higher, like further. So I
Hmm.
think
Hmm.
their support is something
Hmm.
where whether it be on your and dear ones, your friends and family, that is very important because it keeps
Hmm.
you motivated.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is one of the most important part of your journey.
Hmm. So that was again a very beautiful answer. But once it comes to, I would say, like concluding lines, like
Hmm.
if any youngster is watching this video, how will you
Hmm.
tell him the words of wisdom? Just some concluding
Okay.
lines.
There are a few lines, I would say, a quotation by Swami Vivekanand that
Hmm.
has always been a part of my journey. It
Hmm.
is still like I just feels like that makes so much of sense. So I would just say those words,
Hmm.
and that is like take up one idea, make that idea your life, think about it, dream about it, let every part of your body, your soul, and mind be full of
Hmm.
that idea, and that is the way towards success.
Cool.
So, if you want to want to join RBI, uh, just think about it, dream about it, manifest it, and I think definitely that will help you because you will stay motivated, you will stay focused,
Hmm.
and you will stay optimistic. So
Yeah.
I think it's very important that you should feel that okay from core of your heart that I want to go to this
Hmm.
place, and that is what I did. And these are beautiful lines that always
Hmm.
helps you.
Cool. So thank you so much for those words of wisdom, because definitely if you are eyeing something like RBI, seeing the competition, seeing the syllabus, you need to
Hmm.
live with RBI, right? You have to think about RBI, eat with RBI, dance with RBI, sleep with RBI, multiple different times. Your RBI should be running in the mind.
Yes, it
That is
should
the
be.
only thing.
Hmm.
So thank you, Ashwarya. It was very nice talking to you. We have covered multiple different domains, and definitely by concluding, I can definitely say that you are one of the most organized toppers or organized students which I have ever met. You have encountered multiple cliches like engineering background, non-famous college, making of physical notes, and definitely like you have cracked one of the biggest exams in this particular country. So congratulations again from the team of EduTap.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for having
Thanks.
here. I just hope that this interview helps people
Mhm.
and they can make their own strategy. And this journey, if in any way that can help someone, some future
Mhm.
aspirant, and motivate someone, I'll be feeling more than happy.
Mhm.
And thank you for having
Surely
me
it
here.
will did. The comment section of this video will be definitely be fulfilled by multiple beautiful comments. Okay. So thank you for taking us your time, and thank you for giving us your time as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.